Hi everybody, this is Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to FlossTube number 88. It is January 10th, 2024, so happy late New Year everybody. It's been over a month, well over a month since my last video, and so much has happened. So the big news is we went to the Galapagos, so I thought I'd wear my Galapagos t-shirt. These are the blue-footed boobies, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time. I'll probably try to insert some photos. Maybe they were at the beginning of the video. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, or maybe I'll do a couple. All I can say is it was the trip of a lifetime, and we loved every single minute of it. So it was a National Geographic expedition. We were on the ship for 10 nights. It was just amazing. We snorkeled probably nine times, maybe 8 times, 9 times. And if you saw, there was a little shark in one of my videos, or will be a picture of a shark. That was just a little reef shark. That was the kind of highlight of my snorkeling. We saw all kinds of beautiful, beautiful colored fish and things. We saw marine iguanas, we saw blue-footed boobies, we saw cactus that were really, really tall. We saw the giant land tortoises. And the highlight of our trip, and I am going to put a reel in, just sit back and enjoy, was we went out on a Zodiac, which you'll see a picture of the Zodiac boats. That's how we got to and from the ship. And some of the expeditions, if you went to an island, there's like 20 islands in the Galapagos, and some of them you can't walk on. They're just like rising straight up out of the ocean, but they have all kinds of land animals around them, not land animals, birds. And so some of our expeditions, we would just get in a Zodiac and we would drive from the ship and go along the coastline of the islands, and they would tell us about the island, geography, things like that. And then the different birds. A lot of the islands, the birds were only found on a certain island. So we did a lot of that. And one day we were going out to go to an island, I can't remember which one, and we were hoping to see albatross. It would be one of our only chances to see nesting albatrosses, or possibly some albatross in flight. And we didn't really see a lot of albatross, at least not up close, but we got into a pod of hundreds and hundreds of dolphins, and it was amazing. I'm going to put the video in. I'm still so excited from the experience that we had. So we were sitting in these Zodiacs, which literally you could bend over and touch the water. So you're, maybe 12, 15 inches off the water. And so you're right there, you're right at the water. And these dolphins just swam with us in around the boat, not in the boat, around the boat, followed us, went ahead of us. We would circle the boats. The drivers were just amazing, making sure everybody got to see all sides and always were facing the dolphins. And we spent like 30, 35 minutes amongst these dolphins. There were, I think, 4 boats full of people. We could fit about 10 people per boat, and I think almost everybody went. So the boat holds 48 people, and it was just absolutely amazing. So they were jumping out of the water. They were slapping their tails. They were coming up. There was a mother with a baby that kept coming up over and over. My husband, I'll try to get a picture of it, but he has a picture of 4 of them jumping out of the water together. And the highlight for me was I had my leg kind of up over the side edge of the boat. You sit on the edge of the boat, and I had my leg up over the side and had put my phone down and was just enjoying it. And all of a sudden, this full-grown dolphin came straight up out of the water, did a full jump completely out of the water, literally this far away from me. And I was like, oh my God. And everybody in the boat laughed, and it was just amazing. You could just see every detail on them, and you could tell they were having fun. The guides that were with us were like, are the boats bothering them? They can swim way faster than these boats. If they didn't want to be here, they would just swim away. And they said they often will just do this, although what we experienced was very, very rare. They said that when you do get into a pod, they'll often just follow you. And finally, we just had to go back to the boat. And it was probably one of the top 5 things that has happened in my life. So it was just amazing. So I've got some Galapagos things to show you for giveaways and stuff. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I did post a couple of videos, and over the next few episodes of FlossTube, maybe I'll insert some pictures here and there. So I don't want to, take up a lot of time with that, other than to just say it was amazing. If you're ever given the opportunity to go, I cannot recommend it enough. Got that one. Way far away, but I got it. So that was that. So stitching news. Oh, what else happened? We went to my husband's family, saw his mom and my some of my nieces and nephews who I haven't seen for a really long time. So we went up and I got to see my daughter over Christmas. So that was really fun. We were there for 5 nights. We have been gone so much that I told my husband I'm not leaving the whole month of January. I already have plans. I'm going away for 4 nights, 5 days in February. I'm going to go to market. We'll talk about that. Then we're going to go on a trip with some friends of ours in March. And then in April, the first weekend in April, I'm going to go to the Steel City Stitchers retreat. So I just am like packed. I've never had so many flights booked at one time in my entire life. Gets a little bit overwhelming, but it's really nice to have things to do and have plans for the future. So what have I been working on? Actually, even though I was gone a lot, I did get quite a bit of crafting in over the last 5-6 weeks. I did work on my machine embroidery. I'm working on a Silver Bells machine embroidered quilt, and I showed you guys this last time, so just real quick, I'm making the border part of the quilt, and I have to make 20 of these same designs, and I've made 16 of them. I think last time I talked to you guys, I had only made 10 or 12 at the most, or maybe 8. So I'm getting really close. I have this huge pile of stuff. When I'm done with the border, I think I either have 8 or 12 more blocks to make. So I haven't worked on it since before Christmas, and now it's not Christmas time. I don't know whether I want to work on it, and part of me is like, just get the blocks made and then you can piece it together next Christmas. So a part of me just wants to, I have the fabric out and I have my machine set up, and part of me just wants to keep going with that. But it's hard. Then I've been working on Mirabilia's Dressmaker's Daughter, and I actually got a lot done on this. Where is it? Shoot. Oh, here it is. Right here. So I got most of this part. All that's really left up in here is beading, and then I got all of this that's not beads done. And then I got this solid, and then this is just the same color. All I have to do is fill that in. And part of me is like, just keep going with the detailed things and save this for the retreat where all I have to do is fill in. So I don't know whether I'm going to move on to the next one or not. I'm debating what to do with the bottom because I still don't know whether I'm going to put the words in or not. It has winter, spring, summer, and autumn. I may put them in. I had a couple ideas. I was thinking about putting them in French, but I just don't know if I have the patience to try to chart that out or not. I don't know. And then this part here, these viney things, this is all DMC. And then the viney part here is, oh, what is it? Caron Collection Water Lilies threads. So I'll probably do those. I don't know if I'll save that. I'm a little worried about having my hoop on top of my stitching. If you guys have any recommendations for that, because it's really long. I mean, that's only 1/4 of it. So I'm going to have to hoop this, and I'm a little nervous about putting my hoop on my stitching. So if anybody has some recommendations for that or suggestions, I would appreciate that. But I did spend quite a bit of time on that. Then I got out, here it is, Garden Fair. This is what I started a couple years ago. I'm doing it in the called for colors of Auvera Soie Black and Crescent Colors Belle Soie Tulip. And Tulip is just a beautiful color. So the only thing about this is I'm doing it on a 32 count. Oh, I want to say platinum, but that's probably not right. I am just terrible. You know, all the smart floss tubers put a little tag on the back of their fabrics on their whips so that they never forget what fabric they're using. But anyway, maybe it's a 28 count because I'm stitching it 2/2. And the designer used 2 different brands of floss, and one of them is thicker. The silk is thicker than the other one. So the black is a heavier coverage than the red. And I kind of wished it would have used the same brand of floss, but isn't this gorgeous, you guys? Look at that. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I finished this row. I pretty much did all of this row, and I still have just a couple. No, I think that row's done. Doesn't look done. Looks like I have a couple stitches right here that I'm missing. And then I did all of this row, and I'm getting into the next row. And I haven't moved my hoop, so I have just a few stitches to finish up on this side. So I am just starting this top line right here. And then this is what I have left. So got this, will take forever, but it is getting there. And I could not be happier with it. It's so, so, so beautiful. So I did that, or I worked on that. Then I have been working on a new design of mine. I'm not super happy with it, but I'll show it to you anyway. So, yeah, anyway, I'll just show it to you. So it is called A Sampler Kind of Girl. And this is it. And it's just got some of my favorite sampler motifs, which is always the really nice weeping willow, and of course the cats and the bunny. And then down below it's got the sampler ABC and the sampler 1, 2, 3, and then it says A Sampler Kind of Girl. So I have to finish that, but I was ironing it, and I used these, the Nurge, and I love these, and they're plastic. They're plastic on the inside, plastic on the outside. They hold things really, really tight, and I'm pretty sure that's what I used the whole time I stitched this. But I don't know if you can see, I've got like this dark circle around here, and it's almost like it's a stain. Hopefully I can just frame around that, but I don't know if the hand dyed of the fabric just did that. It's not a shadow, I don't think. It's not a shadow. So I don't know what happened there, but I think I can frame, when I finish it, I'll just frame it or mat it around that and you won't see that. But I'm having a hard time with hoops. So, and I can't remember, I think this was just a scrap of material that I had on hand. So that is mine. That will be available. I tried to use the same colors so you didn't have a lot of expense in the flosses. The one I'm really happy with is the variegation of her dress. That's a Classic Color Works. I can't remember which blue it is. It'll be in the pattern, but I really like how that turned out. So you really need the fancy floss on the dress and to get the effect of the leaves in the tree. And then I also used Weeks Dye Works Peacock for the peacock. But of course, when you do it, you can change the skin tone, you can change the hair color, you can do whatever you want. So I've got a lot of work to do on the chart itself, but then that will be available in a PDF and printed format someday. So that's what I did for craftiness. Let's go ahead and do last video's giveaways. So if you win, my email is down below. You need to send me an email and you need to put FlossTube winner in the subject line. Please put FlossTube winner in the subject line. And then I'll need your mailing address and please tell me what you won because I have been known to send the wrong thing out to people. Oh, and also, my microphone's broken, so I really hope that you guys can hear me okay. If not, I apologize. If it sounds weird, I apologize. So the first one is a used copy. It's got highlights and stuff of buttoned Yule, but it comes with all of the buttons. So it's got Mill Hill buttons. I don't know, it's got tons. So it's got all of the buttons needed to complete this. And you had to use the word Yule, Y-U-L-E. 45 people were interested in this, and the winner is Crombie TX, C-R-O-M-B-I-E-T-X. The next one was this fabric by Jody from Steel City Stitchers, and you had to use the word fabric. It's a 32 count even weave, and 44 people were interested in that, and the winner is Catherine Laurent 5219. The next one is a pre-owned copy of the chart Search the Sky by Waxing Moon Designs. You had to use the word sky. And the winner, there were 40 people interested in this one, and the winner is Cozy Town Stitches. The next one is a copy of Teresa Kogut's Beauty Fades booklet. It's got a little tiny imperfection in it. And 25 people were interested in this, and the winner is Marie Halad, H-L-A-D, so I hope I pronounced that correctly. The next one is Twin Peaks Primitive Snowman number 2021, and 34 people were interested in this, and this was also a donated book from a stitcher, and the winner is Donna McCaffrey. Oh, and I can't read my writing. 4364 or something like that. Donna McCaffrey 4364, I think. The next one is that one I didn't draw for. The next one is, that's not right either. That's it. Those are from last time. Those are ones people didn't get. So those are the winners for this time. Next, I'm going to do, again, email me, put FlossTube winner, and tell me what you won. So I'm going to read the next day of my great aunt's journal. If you're new to the channel, I'm on like day probably 9 of my great aunt went on a trip starting in Chicago, went up through Minnesota into North Dakota, and now is going to be going into Calgary, Canada. And she went with her husband and what would be my great grandmother. And it's from 1939. And today's a little bit longer, but it's really neat because it's about Calgary and Banff, Canada. And it is from September 1st, 1939, Radium Hot Springs, Canada. So if this isn't your thing, just jump ahead about 5 minutes and I'll pick back up with the cross stitch side of things. Okay, we left our camp at Calgary at 7 this morning. We were glad to be on our way, for it was terrifically cold last night and this morning. Calgary is a good-sized town with streetcars. As for the surrounding country, it is poor and hilly. The season is considerably later here, for the grain was not even cut yet. There are very few trees in this locality. About 9 o'clock in the forenoon, mountain peaks began to loom in the distance on both sides of us. There was the Burgo Range to our left with the Three Sisters, and nearer we came to Banff, the more enchanting the scenery became. At the entrance of Banff National Park, we were greeted by a woman who registered our car and gave us a buffalo emblem to attach to the car number plate. Needless to say, we are very proud of our bronze buffalo and hope to mount him on a stand when we get home. From the entrance of the park, it was only a distance of 4 or 5 miles to the town of Banff. Here we stopped to get our car serviced, buy groceries and cards, meaning postcards. We then viewed the city, taking various streets and drives. The tunnel drive proved to be a joke and a disappointment. We had already seen too many marvels of nature to thoroughly enjoy anything as ordinary as the tunnel drive. We did get an excellent view of the village of Banff from one point on the drive, and especially the Banff Springs Hotel and Cascade Mountain beyond. 11 miles out of Banff, we lunched in a forest of pines at the foot of Mount Morquay. I hope I'm saying that right, which has an elevation of 8,275 feet. The scenery now is so grand that I'm at a loss to find words with which to describe them. Bow Falls and the famous Johnson Canyon Falls, beautiful beyond word description, added so much to the pictures of nature that we enjoyed every inch of the way. The mountains in this region are huge piles of rock with little vegetation growing on them, though some had small pine growth. It is difficult to realize that we are so near Lake Louise. 4 years ago, Mother and I attempted to visit here, but road construction and terrible highways defeated our attempt. But today we are on our way to that famous, beautiful spot. Why, we are almost there. We were first introduced to Chateau Louise, a beautiful hotel built to overlook the lake. We parked our car there, wrapped ourselves up warmly, for it was very chilly. Wes took a picture of Mother and me, and I, in turn, took a picture of Wes. We then went to the water's edge, where we looked upon the most tranquil and gorgeous nooks in the whole world. The water of Lake Louise this afternoon reflects a bottle green color. It forms a giant mirror for all its surroundings, the trees, the sky, and snow-capped mountains. We are sorry that the weather is misty and chilly, but perhaps the water is prettier, the snow whiter, and the flowers more colorful because of the dim contrast. In order to get to Banff-Wenmere Highway, by which we wished to return to the United States, we had to return on the same road for about 22 miles to Johnson Canyon Junction. As soon as we left the Banff-Jasper Highway and turned onto the new route, we found ourselves buried in mountains, the roads poor, and a downpour of rain salted profusely with snow and sleet. All the remainder of the day was spent in high mountains, sharp curves, snow, and rain. It was indeed a hazardous drive. It seemed that each new curve was sharper and more dangerous than the last. Despite the dangers, the scenery was superb. Once, when it seemed that we were only partly on a narrow ledge, I remarked about the beauty of the valley below, several thousand feet below, and nothing in between. Mother remained quiet, perhaps too breathless for speech. Wes managed, yes, if I just didn't have to look. There were times when we were afraid to look. It seemed that our greatest concern was, how much more of this is there? All day, Wes had been looking for an honest-to-goodness wild bear. Excuse me. And finally, near Simpson Camp, we saw one running off the side of the road. Between Vermilion and Radium, we saw many nice roadside parks, but the wilderness was so real around that we decided that we weren't brave enough to take advantage of them. Each camp was provided with an outdoor stove and a shelter for eating. We were mighty glad to find a snug cabin at Radium Hot Springs. It didn't take us long to gather pine cones and wood and have a roaring fire in our log hut. We were surrounded by mountains. Our cabin is on a steep hill. The pines smell good, and I know their whispers will soon send us all to slumberland. Expenses. Gas in Calgary, 5.5 gallons, $1.55. Gas in Banff, Canada, 5.8 gallons, $1.77. Gas in Radium, Canada, 6.7 gallons, $2.10. Car serviced in Banff, which included 4 gallons of oil, $3. Groceries in Banff and Radium, 71 cents. Cards, 45 cents. Cabin in Radium, Canada, $1.50, and the park fee to get into Banff was $2 for a total daily expense of $13.08. The car registered 5,026 miles this evening. We drove 238.6 miles. Gladys drove practically all the distance today. And then on the back, she actually has her National Parks Pass down here and the receipt from having the car serviced. So it says 5.8 gallons, $1.77, 4 quarts of oil, $2, and 1 lubrication, $1, for a total of $4.77. And then the automobile license for the National Parks of Canada says the person to whom this license has been issued is entitled during the current season to operate the automobile bearing registered number recorded below on park roads open for motor traffic, subject on the part of the license to observance of the park regulations. So that is my great aunt's, my great aunt's journal. So get my door closed. My husband just came home. Okay. Business topics, lots of different things. First of all, quick wanted to let you know that while I'm home, I've been having a lot of auctions on our we have a special Facebook group for auctions, and I've been trying to get in at least one a week. So if you aren't familiar with those, you can check them out. The link is down below. And also I've been this is the year, so every year I tell my husband that my shop inventory is going to decrease of what I have on hand, and every year it increases until it's like, oh my God. And I'm supposed to be entering semi-retirement, so I'm supposed to be whittling down my shop inventory, and this year it skyrocketed. So I'm really getting to work. So I am taking some things out of inventory, some things that have been really, really old things that are going to be taken out and moved to donated to Goodwill. And a lot more things are going in my clearance section. So over the next months, just keep checking the clearance section. There is a code called Good Home. And if you go down to my links, I have a link tree links. And in the link tree, there's a link to the clearance section. And the code Good Home will give you an additional 15% off anything in the clearance section. And all the rules on how that works are on the page for the clearance section. So don't forget to use that if you get a chance, because some of them are marked down like 25 cents. And those are gonna just get taken out and put in Goodwill pretty soon, because I have got to do something with my inventory. So check that out frequently. And if there's something it's in the clearance, some of the things that are in clearance are from way, like they've been in there in my inventory since 2006. And back then, my pictures were much smaller because we were charged by the amount of bandwidth that we used. So if there's something that you want a larger picture of, just text me and I will rescan it and get you a better picture. Let's talk about market. So I have decided to go to market again. I have another shop owner and I are going to room together, and I've already bought my airfare. So and rent in my car. So it is a done deal. Last year, I did pre-order. I don't know how much I'm going to do with pre-orders. Pre-orders are a ton of work, but they're a ton of fun, and it's kind of why you go to market. So last year, what I did was I had an order form on Google Forms that you went to, and you would mark the items you want, and I would bill you for those. I would send you an invoice. And then when I went to market, everybody who had paid their invoices, I would just automatically send your pre-orders to you. I would like if you did that last year, I would like your opinions on how that worked. It worked really well for me. It was a lot of work, and you were allowed, the advantages of it were a couple things. You were allowed to go and update your order whenever you wanted to, and you were only charged shipping once. So I would charge you a flat rate shipping, I think it was $5 on your first market pre-order. And then after that, if you added to the order, you would get invoiced just for the items you added, and you would not get invoiced shipping again. And then if you place an order of at least $50, a market order of at least $50, when I shipped out your order, you would get a store credit of $5 to use on a future order. And if I do it, I would do that again. The only requirement from you would be you have to have an account with Cobweb Corner. Otherwise, I can't go in and create an order in our system. And you got to pay your invoice. So you have to fill out the form, and then you have to pay your invoice. And I think I'm only taking, I would consider orders for international orders, but the shipping is a lot, and I wouldn't know what the shipping is ahead of time. Shipping internationally has just gotten so expensive, and it's also taking forever. So I will probably limit it to US addresses only. So if you remember doing that last year, and I would like your opinions. You can either email me privately, or you can put a comment down below. But I'm going to try. Now I'm going to be gone February 12th through the 16th, so 5 full days, and that's right before market. So that kind of messes with things a little bit, but I'll do the best I can. I'll have lots of stuff on my website. If you're on my newsletter, you'll be getting updates via my newsletter. If I get another FlossTube out, I'll post it here. I'll post about it on Instagram, and also on the community page here on YouTube. I'll post there when I start to figure out what I'm going to do. So yeah, and hopefully market will go better for me. Last year when I went, I ended up, my flight, there was almost a tornado when we landed into Nashville, and our flight, we got like literally 2 feet off the ground, and they had to pull up, and we got rerouted to Little Rock, Arkansas, and we ended up spending the night in Little Rock. So I was supposed to be there at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and I didn't get there until 1:30 or 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and I had not slept at all. And the next day, I decided there was going to be snow happening in Minneapolis, so I rerouted. I changed my flight to go through Atlanta. Long story short, I ended up going to a hotel at 12:30 in the morning in Atlanta and spending the night there. So in 3 nights, I had 2 flights canceled and spent 2 nights in hotels. Got about 6 hours of sleep in 3 days, and it was horrible. It was horrible. So this year I'm going on Thursday night, the night before, so that if something does happen, actually I'm getting in like Thursday afternoon, and if something does happen, I'll have some fluff time, and then I'm leaving early Sunday morning so I can get back Sunday afternoon. So I hopefully will have 2 full days at market. So we'll see how that goes. So let me know what you think, whether you're interested in, also if you do order through Cobweb Corner, you will get reward points for your purchases. So if you're not familiar with our reward program, check that out, because we give a lot of free charts away with the rewards program. Okay, next set of giveaways. First, I'm going to do the charts. that are going to be given away. And then I've got some fun things that I got from the Galapagos for you guys, and I'm going to give those away. The first one is Superior Bees. This is by Summerhouse Stitchworks, and use the word bees. And if you want to enter the giveaways, you need to be 18 so that I can legally ask for your address. Do not use the word giveaway. Make sure you use the word I tell you to use. And it would be really nice if you were a subscriber to the channel. The next one is Happy Halloween. And this is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I think this was also a chart that was in one of my Black Beetle Society boxes. And use the word Halloween. And the next one is a donated chart from somebody who just sent me some of their stuff that they're not using. And this is called Pamper Me by Artmishka Cross Stitch. It's really cute. I think this would be really fun in a little girl's bathroom. And use the word pamper, P-A-M-P-E-R. And here is Bo. She hasn't joined us for a long time. There's been lots and lots of videos where she hasn't come to say hi. Okay, next I bought some things in the Galapagos for you guys. The first one is this tortoise little zipper bag. And all of the items that I bought were, so this was designed, ow, little girl, that is not supposed to happen. Okay, down you go. Yeah, that's how we get lots of scratches on our back. I think she was adopted. Her and her sister Toulouse were adopted by somebody else and then brought back to the shelter. And I think that whoever had her allowed her to ride on their shoulder when she was a kitten, because the first place she'll jump from the floor to my shoulders and try to get on my back, and I end up with scratches just all the way down my back. Anyway, this bag was designed and printed in Ecuador. And it's an exclusive illustration for the ranch where we purchased this. So we went to a ranch up in the Highlands on, I think it was Santa Cruz Island. And the giant tortoises migrate down and go through the ranch. And there was just dozens and dozens of them there. And they had this beautiful little gift shop and a restaurant. So I got that here. And on the Galapagos things, just use the word Galapagos and I'll go in order and draw names, and the first person I draw will get one item and the next will get another item. So Galapagos is spelled all A's except the last one's an O. G-L-G-A-L-A-P-A-G-O-S. Galapagos. So that will be one giveaway. And then I got this notebook that is printed on recycled paper. And it is the flamingo, and there is a variety of flamingos that are only found in the Galapagos. And we actually got to see some of those. So this is just a close-up little notebook with a whole bunch of pages in it. Oh, and it's got a little bookmark in it too. So that, use the word Galapagos. And then my husband printed out, he does amateur photography, and he has some beautiful note cards. And I'll just show up a few. Crabs. I haven't folded them. I'm probably going to send them out unfolded. Look at this one. And these printed a little off center. So he can't put them in his shop. And I'm going to give them away. I'll probably give them away in sets of, I don't know, at least a couple per person. Got this one. It's a flightless cormorant. So you will get, I won't show them all to you, but you'll get, I'll draw 2 or 3 names for people to get note cards of some of our photos. And here's one of the blue-footed boobies. So these were all taken. This is my favorite. Just love this one. These were all taken by my husband and eventually will be available in his shop. Look at that one. That's just amazing. But for some reason, they did print a little off center. So I will be giving those away too. All right, Bo, you're gonna have to get down. Next is new inventory. There she goes. So I have a ton of new inventory as always, and I may have to stop because I'm not sure where I'm gonna put all this. But it's been a long time. I had gone through a streak where I entered a bunch. A lot of this is duplicates, so I'll try to weed that out. I got a bunch of the full kits, new full kits from Satsuma Street. So this one is the Spooksters, the Big Wahoo. Oof, more of those than I thought. Then I have FlossTube Friends by October House Fiber Arts. Language of Flowers Peace by the Blue Flower. Holiday Card 2023 by the Blue Flower. It's Merry Meerkats. A bunch of those. Pennsylvania Christmas Deer by Shakespeare's Peddler. I really like this one. Christmas Terrarium by Tiny Modernist. Earth Flowers by October House Fiber Arts. So these are all charts that have never, they're not necessarily brand new releases, but they are charts that have never been listed on my website before, cobwebcorner.com. Christmas Parade by Cottage Garden Samplings. There's so many names that are familiar, I always get them mixed up. Merry Noel Collection, Santa's on His Way by Homespun Elegance. Really like this one by La Di Da, Witch Hazel. Isn't that cute? I don't know if cute's the right word. I like it. The New World Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. This is amazing. It says Mayflower Compact, and it's got the Thanksgiving Pilgrims and Native American Indians, all kinds of fall colors. Would love to see that stitched. Christmas in the Colonies by Plum Street. Got a lot of those. I've got to maybe reduce my auto shipment. Winter Blessings by Plum Street. Autumn Joy by Plum Street. These are all new releases, relatively new. And then I've got the Spooksters, Mr. Meow. And these, if you're not familiar, these are complete kits. Everything you need except backing paper or felt, string for hanging, glue, and scissors. So it comes with the chart, 14 count perforated paper, which is impossible to find right now. Thank you, Trishia Ct, and DMC embroidery floss, beads, sequins, a needle, and instructions. So those are, I think I have 8 of each of those kits. And Benny Bones. Another one of the kits. Okay, from Trishia Ct. These aren't necessarily brand new releases, but they're new to my shop. I've got the Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu, Gather booklet, Dwelling Place, Santa's Delivery. This is why we can't find perforated paper anymore. I do have perforated paper on order, but it has been on back order from Witch-Ilt for months, way before Trishia Ct came out with that chart. This one is Harvest Friendship, and most of these books have multiple designs in them. Oh, let's see. Hello Autumn. And there's 8 designs in this book. Let's see if I can find some of the other ones. We got Folksy Thomas. Look at that, that's so cute. So lots and lots of her stuff. Seaworthy. These are all by Trishia Ct. With Thy Hands. This one says, With Thy Hands I Thee Wrought. And this one's really cool. It's got all kinds of, it's got like the scissors, the word stitch, it's just, her stuff is so, if you like primitive, her stuff is just amazing. Let Love Rain. Let's see, then by Sambry Stitches, I've got Words to Live By Christmas edition. And from her super popular Bigfoot series, I have Bigfoot in Winter. I love this one. I love the penguin and Bigfoot holding the cup of hot cocoa. Got lots of little details. Got the cardinal in the nest. And I'm not sure if that's available in PDF format or not, but I can get it in PDF format. Oh my goodness. Sometimes my fingers, I don't know what it is about Yarn Tree, but when I order from Yarn Tree, every order I end up doing a finger flop and I get like 15 of the same chart. I don't know why I don't review my orders better. This is why my inventory increases so much, you guys. This is Jenny's Bean Garden, the Green Bean Sampler by Shakespeare Peddler. Isn't that beautiful? Just look at that border. That is just so amazing. Nutty or Nice, a new chart by Satsuma Street. The Blue Flower, 12 Cats at Christmas. It says 12 Cats at Christmas, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 designs, and I only see 11 cats in there. So I'm not sure about the name, but it's 12 Cats at Christmas and the 12 Dogs at Christmas. Let's see here. Did that one. Like I said, oh, this one's really cute. I like this one. This is Specs. Another full kit by Satsuma Street. Almost done, guys. Then we've got All My Heart This Night Rejoices by Corey Badikori, and I love this one. Look at, even if you just did this lace heart and didn't do the rest, but I like the trees too. And notice, you know, she doesn't just do, she puts so much detail in her charts, you guys, and she doesn't, so she could have just made these two trees the same, but she didn't. And then you got the angels up here, and down below it says, All My Heart This Night Rejoices. Betsy's Halloween Basket. I really like the Betsy's Basket charts by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. Their designs, I think, have just really, really been great lately. And I love the colors in this one. So you've got that sampler look, but you have the bright Halloween colors. Dreaming of Carnations. This is from the Dreaming Flowers series by Rosewood Manor. So there's Dreaming Tulips, Dreaming Roses, I can't remember, Dreaming Peonies, I think, whole bunch of them. Another one by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery is Peacock Manor. I like this one too. Then by Shannon Christine, Eggnog Latte Sign. And I've already sold 5 of these. This is Daphne's Butterfly Brigade. And I think I may have the bead pack to this. I'm not sure whether I've just ordered it or I already have it in stock, but it's not entered on my website yet, or whether I have it in stock and it is entered on my website. I can't remember. And then some of you might not know, I did get Lilac number 4 Krynic braid. I do have a pretty good selection of number 4 and number 8 braid. It is under, the Krynic is under the threads category. So when you go to my website, there's a menu along the top, and one of them says cross stitch, one says threads and fibers, and one says accessories. Krynic is under the threads and fibers. And I think that's it. I've also had a number of restock videos posted lately. I've just, after the year-end sale, I was out of dozens and dozens of charts, and most of them have been ordered and re-entered on the site. All right, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope to get back to you. I'll definitely be doing something with you guys so I can explain about what I'm going to do for market. I, again, really want to know your input on market pre-orders and whether you used the system I used last year. So please comment below with that. And we will see you soon, I hope. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.